In 1879, Emma Smith was 75 years old. She was asked a series of 7 questions, a 10-minute interview that was written down by a scribe. The questions were asked as if an anti was asking them, but the answers were something the antis never want to acknowledge because they cause so much pain to the antis, so much joy to the church. I think you'll enjoy these. Stay to the end. The last question is really something special. So let me give you some context. So in 1879, Emma had been married Joseph 50 years before. He had died 35 years before, so they had a 15-year marriage. She had been through a lot of hard things. The antis say, you can't really trust Emma because in this very short interview, it was done by her son, Joseph Smith III, who was the president and prophet of the reorganized church. So she was obviously prejudiced. She had no character. She'd say whatever she wanted to please him. Let me just kind of go through a just very quick biography. Before Emma met Joseph, she was raised by a prosperous farmer down in Pennsylvania. He had land, he had success, he had money. He built another building on his property for one of his children to marry or to live in when they got married. Things were going well. Emma expected that kind of life, an agrarian life that was full of happiness. And then she met Joseph. Life changed. It was not like she might have thought. She went through some horrific times with Joseph that caused her to have a steel spine, as you'll see. She had 11 children, lost 6 of them. She often went from home to home of other people to live, not having her own house. When Joseph died, she was pregnant, 4 months pregnant. Joseph knew this and said, you're going to have a son, and his name should be David. And off he went to be killed. When Joseph was gone, she had no advocates. The church was moving to Utah. She wasn't going with them. She had nothing. She had to fight for property just to have her the right in Nauvoo to live. She got married again. The gentleman she married soon brought home a baby from another woman. She raised it because she was a moral, beautiful, strong woman. And then we come to 1879. Joseph III is the prophet and president of the reorganized church. He's going to ask her 7 questions. Today I'm only going to do 6 of them. One is superfluous. But wait till you hear the questions, which seem like an anti is asking them, and the unbelievable answers. See what you think. Okay, so question number 1. What is the truth of Mormonism? Right to the meat of the matter. And think again of all of Joseph's intimates, certainly his wife Emma, his mother Lucy Mack, Hiram, maybe a core of others that never turned on him, never doubted him. Emma, his wife, knew so much. And the truth she spoke is beautiful. Okay, so what was the truth of Mormonism? I know Mormonism to be the truth and believe the church has been established by divine revelation. Okay, so that's out of her gate. Now, Joseph's been dead 35 years. There's no reason to be lying anymore if she's a fake. But again, the things she's gone through. Another thing, when Joseph died, she lived and watched over Lucy Mack, Joseph's mother, till she died. This is a woman of character, strong character. Is she lying at the end? I don't believe so. Second question. Had he not a book or a manuscript which he read or dictated to you? So now this is almost like an anti-question. This is what the antis say. Oh yes, he had different ways to produce the book. He had notes, he had books, he had things. Had he not a book or a manuscript from which he read or dictated to you? Answer, he had neither manuscript nor book to read from. Okay, straight up. Follow-up question, please. Number 3. Could he not have and you not know it? Okay, so now again, this is his son asking these questions. That's what an anti would ask. Well, what about? Maybe, her answer, if he had anything of the kind, he could not have concealed it from me. And the intimacy of a husband and wife, you think that's probably dang true. Question number 4. Are you sure he had the plates at the time you were writing for him? Again, that's like an anti. Well, did he really have these things? Are they really true? Interesting question. The answer. The plates often lay on the table without any attempt of concealment, wrapped in a small linen tablecloth, which I had given to him to fold them in. I once felt of the plates as they lay on the table, tracing the outline and shape. They seemed to be pliable like thick paper and would rustle with a metallic sound when the edges were moved by the thumb, as one sometimes does with the edge of a book. Now, we're getting down to meat of the matter here. Did the Book of Mormon exist? Is it made up? All the antis stay on one side. Yes, it was made up out of Joseph's mind. Here's his wife. She's 75 years old. Sharp, bright, been through a hellish life, hard, strong woman. I like the idea of a steel spine. She wasn't backing down from anyone and never did. She was a strong woman answering questions. Now let's go to question number 5. Could not Father have dictated the Book of Mormon to you, Oliver Cowdery, and the others, after first writing it, or having first read it out of some book? Now that's, again, that's an anti-question. Oh, yes, he had access to lots of books. He read them. He could have had notes. He could have prepared, not just in his mind, but writing things down. What would Emma say to that? Joseph Smith could neither write nor dictate a coherent and well-worded letter, let alone dictating a book like the Book of Mormon. And though I was an active participant in the scenes that transpired, and was present during the translation of the plates, and had cognizance of things as they transpired, it is marvelous to me, a marvel and a wonder, as much so to me as anyone else. So Emma witnessed everything. And she's going, you know what? Only the power of God could have done what I saw done with my eyes with Joseph. One when I was translating, or when he was translating, I was writing. The other when he was translating and Oliver was writing. I saw everything. And that's what I thought. The 6th and last question. Mother, what is your belief about the authenticity or the origin of the Book of Mormon? My belief is that the Book of Mormon is divine authenticity. I have not the slightest doubt of it. I am satisfied that no man could have dictated the writing of the manuscript unless he was inspired. For when acting as his scribe, your father would dictate to me hour after hour. And when he returned after meals or after interruptions, he would at once begin where he left off, without either seeing the manuscript or having any portion of it read to him. Now, I have one little last thing I'll read here, but think about what she's saying. The antis say, oh, well, he could have peeked. He could have memorized this part really well before he left. Here's an eyewitness. Now, these people are today's, 195 years since it all happened. They're guessing. Anything they throw out and say, oh, gee whiz, Joseph wrote it, of course. On his own, of course. Here is the eyewitness validating the authenticity of the Book of Mormon. This is of God. Joseph would be interrupted. Leave, come back, start right where he left off. He could have been at lunch. He could have been overnight. It could have been anything. And he started right where he left. How would he do that? Only by the power of God. Her last thoughts. It would have been improbable that a learned man could do this. For one so ignorant and unlearned as he was, it was simply impossible. Now, this is the only time that I'm aware of in the history of the church, could be others that I just don't know about, where someone in the church said Joseph was ignorant. He was unlearned. The antis always like to say, see, they build that up to make it look better. This is his wife. She was a learned person. She went to school. She was educated. And she saw Joseph, for whatever reason, as a man she wanted to marry. Ignorant and unlearned. And bought into everything went on. After he died, she didn't come out with an expose and say, oh, let me just tell you what happened to make money. She needed money desperately. She's living in Nauvoo with nothing, just trying to hold on with her children, of which there were 5 of them. She never did. Never buckled. Never said, oh, I might as well tell the truth now. Will someone buy my book or whatever? I need money. She stood by the truth. And the truth is, the Book of Mormon is the Word of God. The truth is, this interview is so amazing to lend a reality to things we think about. We don't really know. She did. She was there. Well, thanks for listening. I appreciate your participation. I hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.